So, good day everyone. My name is JC James Dominic C. Duran from BTVTED Electrical Technology 3D. So, for now, I'm gonna tackle the topic of genetic engineering. So, what is genetic engineering? Genetics engineering, also known as recombinant DNA technology, involves inserting desirable genetic traits into another organism, allows faster and more reliable incorporation of DNA used to generate cells, organ, or entire organisms. So for me, genetic engineering is also known as a recombinant DNA technology that refers to all techniques that allow desirable genetic traits from a plant, animal, or microorganism to be incorporated into an unrelated species. So next, genetic modified organism. So result of genetic engineering contain altered or modified DNA capable of producing new substances or performing new functions. So, for me, genetically modified organism also referred to as transgenic is a product of genetic engineering are living cells or organisms with altered or modified DNA, making them capable of producing new substances or performing new functions. And then this is the process involved in genetic engineering. As you can see, the bacterium and the nucleus. So the process of genetic engineering is first DNA is removed from a cell nucleus. Second, plasmid and DNA is removed from a bacterium. Third one is desired gene is cut from DNA. Fourth, plasmid is cut open. Fifth, gene is inserted into plasmid forming recombinant DNA. Adoption of biotech crops. For my research, so 67 countries have adopted biotech crops since 1996, and top producers, the country is USA, Brazil, Argentina, Canada, and India. 91.3% of biotech crop area from top 5 countries. So this is the process of making insulin through genetic engineering. So biological substances that have practical applications that were once rare or scarce can now be made readily available through genetic engineering. And other substances that were once available in small quantities from animals or plants are now available in large quantities through the manipulation and alternation of genes. So, this is one of example is the use of Escherichia coli in the production of inositol. So, inositol was originally obtained from the pancreas of slaughtered hogs and bovines, making it expensive and inaccessible. Now, genetically engineered human insulin can be mass-produced through the use of synthetic genes, and genetic engineering has proven to be useful in many different fields, aspects of society. So, that's all, and thank you so much. So, dagdag lang po. So, genetic engineering is refers to all techniques that allow desirable genetic traits from a plant, animal, or microorganism to be incorporated into an unrelated species. That's all. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you for listening to my report, everyone. God bless us all.
Good day, everyone. My name is Princess Nicole G. Domen from Bitibita Dwarf. So, I'm gonna tackle about I'm gonna report my report is all about policies and guidelines. So policies and guidelines, genetic engineering in the Philippines is guided by several policies to make sure that genetically modified organism or GMOs are safe for people in the environment. The National Committee or Biosafety of the Philippines or NCPP, which was created in 1990, is the main group that creates rules and guidelines for the research, handling, and use of GMOs. It is made up for experts from DOST, DEA, DOH, and DENR. So this policies and guidelines was created in 1990s. It is the main group that creates rules. It makes rules and guidelines for the research handling. Yet, it is used for the expert of DOL. It used for DOH and DENR and etc. So the next is in 2002, the Department of Agriculture also released rules on the important and release of genetically engineered plants and plants products. These policies help control how GMOs are used in the country to avoid harmful effects. The Philippines is also part of the Cartagena Protocol on Biosafety, an international agreement that aims to protect biological diversity from possible risks caused by GMOs. This agreement has been effective in the country since 2003 and provides guidelines on the safe handling and use of GMOs. So the next is in another countries, especially in United States, transgenic plants are strictly tested in labs and fields to make sure that they are safe. These agencies evaluate them, the USDA, FDA, and EPA. Similarly, in the Philippines, research on transgenic plants supervised by the NCBP to ensure safety before any GMO is released or used. So, in other countries, the Dow is especially in United States is the it is strictly tested in labs and fields. So, stricto talaga sila sa pagdating sa mga test nila para to make sure that safe for the people that will use. So, the next topic is about genetic engineering. Genetic engineering is agricultural biotechnology is recognized by the Philippine government as an important tool for achieving food security, sustainable in agriculture, and improving health environmental safety. Many institutions in the country focus on genetic engineering, development of crops, and agriculture sustainability. So genetic engineering is biotechnology or and it recognized by the it came from the Philippine government. It is an important tool for the food security and sustainable for the people or people for the people rather. So the number one of the genetic engineering is the International Rice Research Institute or the IRRI in Baños, Laguna. So it focuses on developing new varieties of rice, works to improve rice farming methods, and promote environmental sustainable agriculture. One of the leading institution in global rice research. So the International Rice Research Institute, it only focuses on new varieties of rice, like the different of rice and to improve and to help the people in the Philippines. So the next is the National Institute of Molecular Biology and Biotechnology, or the Biotech, UPLBN Laguna. So it conducts research on sustainable agricultural programs, develop better food and feed products, also develop medical drugs using biotechnology. So so it conducts research on sustainable agricultural programs, develop better food and feed products, also develop medical drugs and biotechnology. So the next is Philippine Rice Research Institute, or PhilRice, or the Science City of Namuños. The place in Philippine Rice Research is in Nueva Ecija. So it attached to the Department of Agriculture, or DA, developed technologies and methods to increase rice crop yields, work to make farming more efficient and cost effective. So it is attached for the to the Department of Agriculture, and it develops the it help develop technology and method to increase the ripe crop yields. So the next is the Institute of Plant Breeding, or IPB, or UPLB, uh, in Laguna. So responsible for developing and improving plants and crops other than rice. Focuses on crops breeding to increase resilience, nutrition, and productivity. So Institute of Plant Breeding, or IPB, it focuses on crop breeding to increase the rice rice crop yield. Um, yes. It also help to get nutrition and productivity. So the next one is Philippine Carabao Center, or the PCC, Science City of Muñoz, and it also plays in Nueva Ecija. Also attached to the Department of Agriculture, aims to conserve and improve the Carabao population in the Philippines, supports farmer, enhancing the productivity of Carabao for work and dairy. So that's all for my report. Hope you learn something about my topic.
Everyone, my name is John Miko Tuzo from BTP for Training. So today I will be discussing the issues and concern of GMO. So GMO stands for genetically modified organism. Genetic engineering is a controversial issue because it possesses ethical concerns. Critics have branded GMO products as Frankenfood based on Mary Shelley Frankenstein, a story about the scientist Victor Frankenstein who created a monster that turned against his own creator. This brand of criticism warns of the possible negative side effects of GMOs. So ang genetic engineering ay very controversial dahil maraming tao ang nag-alala sa possible effects nito sa health natin, environment, at pati sa ethics. Tinatawag pa nga ng iba ang GMO food na Franken food, galing sa story ni Frankenstein, para ipakita yung takot nila na baka may harmful effects pa ito. And next is, these are the following common issues and concern on GMOs related to health and environment. Possible effects on non-target organisms such as beneficial, the insects, mammals, wildlife, and endangered or threatened fish species in the environment. Ito yung concern na baka maapektuhan hindi lang yung pest na target ng GMO, kundi pati yung mga helpful insects, wildlife, mammals at kahit endangered species. Halimbawa, may worries na yung toxins produced by GMO crops could harm beneficial insects like butterflies or bees. Number two, possible gene flow to, o- to or crossing with other varieties including indigenous crops and with wild relatives. Dito na yung naman yung posibilidad na mawala ang genes ng GMO crops sa native crops or wild plants. Kapag nag-cross pollinate sila, pwede magbago ang genetic makeup ng indigenous species at kapag nangyari yon, sobrang hirap na siyang ibalik sa original. Number three is possible formation of resistance insects, pests, and microorganism. Dito na yun palaging expose ang pest sa GMO crops, may chance na mag-evolve sila at maging resistant. Ibig sabihin, hindi na sila tinatamaan ng GMO toxin kaya mas mahirap na silang kontrolin sa future. 4 is possible persistence of toxin in the environment and 5 possible formation of human. So dito naman is may concern din na yung toxin na galing sa genetically modified plants ay pwedeng tumagal sa soil ng matagal dahil dito pwede nitong maapektuhan ang soil organisms, water system, and ecological balance sa paligid. Number 5 is possible formation of human disease such as allergy and cancer. So some critics worry na GMOs might trigger allergies or even contribute to disease like cancer. Hindi pa proven based on current scientific evidence pero ito pa rin yung fear na madalas pinamagit sa discussion about GMO safety. So next is GMO contamination. There is possible that modified genes may cross with indigenous crops or wild organism organisms, for example, with the wide proliferation of BT corn, it will sooner or later cross pollinate native corn varieties, yellow or white corn, that are locally used as food and animal fodder. The contamination of indigenous crops with genetically engineered DNA is permanent and will be extremely difficult and expensive eradicate to which can be possibly drive indigenous species of crops to extinction. So, ang contamination na nangyayari kapag naghalo ang GMO crops sa native or indigenous crops, halimbawa yung BT corn, pwede mag-cross pollinate sa native corn. Kapag nangyari yon, mahirap na siyang alisin at pwede pang matreten ang native species. Next is GMO risk. Scientists who are critical of GMOs are questioning the health and environment risks that GMO pose. Studies have shown that consuming and producing GMOs can result in the formation of new and or more virulent strains of infections agents, the prevalence of toxins in the soil, killing of non-target organisms, and other unpredictable and unknown long-term effects are also concern of GMO critics. So, may mga scientists na nag-worry about long-term effects ng GMOs. Baka mag-cause ito ng bagong infection agents, harm sa non-target organism, at unpredictable impact sa environment. So, these are the following examples of missteps concerning So number one, BT toxin in monarch butterflies. Laboratory experiments suggest that death may occur among monarch butterfly larvae that ingest BT corn pollen on host plants. Wolfenbarger and Pfeffer 2000. So may study daw na gisabing yung pollen mula sa BT corn pwedeng makain ng monarch butterfly larvae kapag nangyari yun. Posible daw na maapektuhan sila or mamamatay. Kaya issue ito kasi hindi naman sila pest pero pwede silang maapektuhan ng GMO toxin. Number two is bovine growth hormone or RBGH or Posilac. Human abnormalities have been attributed to drinking milk from cows injected with RBGH. The milk contains high levels of protein fraction called insulin like growth factor 1 1G IGF-1 which has been linked to the formation of breast, prostate, and colon cancer. Other wide-ranging, well-documented abnormalities in RBGH milk included reduction in short-chain fatty acid and increase in long-chain fatty acid levels, posing heart disease, increase in level of thyroid hormone, enzyme, frequency of fast cells in milk due to mastitis, breast tissue infection, and contamination of milk with unapproved drugs for treating mastitis. RBGH also increases ovulation and embryo survival and increases the incidence of fraternal twins. Multiple gestations are more prone to complications such as premature delivery. So ito yung hormone na ini-inject sa cows para mas dumami yung gatas nila. Ang problema, may claims na yung milk mula sa cows na may R, RBGH ay may mataas na levels ng IGF-1 na naiugnay sa risk ng breast, prostate at colon cancer. May issue din na quality ng milk tulad ng higher long chain fatty acid at presence ng pulses will be dahil sa mastitis. So number three is Terminator or suicide seeds. American Agrochemical and Agricultural Biotechnology Company Monsanto patented a technology that creates sterile seeds to protect its patented synthetic genes called Terminator technology. By the media, sterile seed technology is a type of gene use restriction technology, GERT, in which seed produced by a crops will not produce valuable offspring seeds or will produce valuable seeds with specific genes. Switch off Shiba 2013. Ito yung technology na gumagawa ng sterile seed. Ibig sabihin yung seeds na galing sa ani ay hindi na tumutubo. Kaya kaya napipilitan ang farmers na bumili ulit every planting season. Sobrang controversial ito dahil parang nalalagay sa power ng biotech companies ang food production. And the next one is parent issue. The issue of authorization is also present, particularly regarding who is authorized to use modified or altered genes. Altered genes, for example, the BT toxin gene is protected by the patient of the patent of the agrochemical company Monsanto. If BT corn contaminates native corn varieties, Monsanto may sue local farmers for authorized possession of their product protected gene. Monsanto has already sued and won such as suits against US and Canadian farmers. These farmers were fined with large amounts of money for the presence of Monsanto's patented soya and canola genes in their crops field. So companies like Monsanto may ha- companies like Monsanto may hawak na patent sa genes na ginawa nila. Kapag accidentally na-contaminate daw ito ng yung field ng farmer, pwedeng ma-sue yung farmer dahil unauthorized possession ng patented genes. So malaking issue ito about fairness at rights ng farmer. Ethical issue. Many critics claim the technology of genetic engineering goes against religious belief because its essence resolves around the idea of playing God, as GMOs directly modify the natural function and process of organisms. However, major religious groups have also made positive statements regarding genetic engineering. The Vatican Pontifical Academy for Life Science gave a prudent yes to genetic engineering of plants and animals, but not to the genetic modification of humans. So dito, parang may nagsasabi na ang genetic engineering daw ay parang nilalaro lang yung God dahil binabago nito ang sa natural process, pero may religious groups daw gaya ng Vatican, Church of England at Islamic institution na nagsasabing okay ang GMOs as long as we use it responsible and ethically. So next is, and according to the Church of England, Synod for Social Responsibility, Technology, and Medicine are based on the human intervention of natural process, and genetic engineering does not seem different from other scientific developments. And genetic engineering does not seem different from other scientific. The Institute of Islamic Understanding stated that the Muslim world thus is not blessed with fertile agriculture and land should seize the opportunity provided by resilient GMO crop because similar to other countless knowledge bestowed upon humans by Allah, genetic engineering is breakthrough that can be used for the for the good of mankind. Marami daw scientific organization tulad ng WHO Energy Commission ang nagsasabi na yung approved GMOs na nasa market ay safe at wala pang proven harmful effects sa humans based on current studies. Next is, so in addition, research institute as well as those concerned with public health and safety generally attest to the safety of engineered crops. So number one, to date, no adverse health effects attributed to genetic engineering have been documented in the human population. National Research Council 2004. So, ang National Research Council daw nagsabi na hanggang ngayon wala pang nado-document na harmful health effects sa tao na directly caused by GMOs. Ibig sabihin, based sa data nila, so far safe naman ito kainin. So number two is indeed, the science is quite clear. Crop improvements by the modern mul- molecular techniques and of biotechnology is safe. American Association for the Advancement of Science 2012. Ayon sa Association for the Advancement of Science, American American Association for the Advances of Science, malinaw ang scientific evidence na safe ang modern biotechnology methods, hindi daw ito mas risky kumpara sa traditional breeding techniques. So, number three is bioengineered foods have been consumed for close to 20 years, and during that time, no overt consequences on human health have been reported and are substantiated in the peer-reviewed literature, Council on Science and Public Health. So, sinasabi dito na halos 20 years na kinukonsume ang GMO's food pero wala pa ring napapatunayang negative effects sa human health based on peer-reviewed studies. Number four is genetically modified food currently available in the international market have passed safety assessment. So number four is genetically modified foods currently available in the international market have passed safety assessment and is not likely to present risk for human health. In addition, no effects on human health have been shown as a result of the consumption of such foods by the general population in the countries where they have been approved. World Health, World Health Organization 2014. Ayon sa World Health Organization, yung GMO foods na na-approve at nasa market ay hindi likely na makasama sa health. Wala ring naobserbahang negative effects ayon sa mga population na kumakain ng GMO foods. So number five is food from genetically engineered plants intended to be grown in the United States that have been evaluated by FDA through the consultation process have not gone in the the market until the FDA questions about the safety of such products have been resolved. U.S. Food and Drug Administration 2015. So ayon sa FDA naman, hindi nila pinapayagan na pumasok sa market ang GMO plants hanggat hindi nasasagot at nasusolusyonan lahat ng safety concerns. So may strict screening bago ito ma-approve. So number six is the main conclusion to be drawn from the efforts of more than 130 research projects covering a period of more than 20 years of research and involving more than 500 independent research group is that biotechnology and in particular GMOs are not per se more risky than e.g. conventional plant breeding technology. European Commission 2010. So ayon sa European Commission, based on more than 130 research projects, sinabi nila na ang GMOs ay hindi mas risky kaysa sa traditional breeding. Over 25 years of research, wala silang nakita na unique danger from GMOs. So the last one is the BT Talong case in the Philippines. One notable controversy concerning genetically engineered crops is the case of BT Talong testing in the Philippines. In 2015, the Supreme Court of the Philippines ordered the banning of the field testing of the BT Talong as well as the application for field testing contained use, propagation, and information of GMOs. The decision came about in response to the call from several environmental groups to act on the presumed health and environment risks of the use of BT Talong. So, in 2015 daw, nagkaroon ng ruling ang Supreme Court na i-ban muna ang field testing at propagation ng GMOs dahil sa concern ng environmental groups. Pinapakita nito na ang GMO issue ay hindi lang scientific, kasama na rin dito ang law, culture, at public concern. So in conclusion, May benefits ang GMOs pero may malalaking issue din na dapat i-consider. Importante na maintindihan natin ang mga concerns para makagawa tayo ng informed decisions tungkol sa biotechnology. That's all. Thank you. Thank you guys for listening to my report. Thank you.